Hey, good evening. My name is Kirby Ingles. I'm a leadership and transformation coach, a father of four, and a U.S. Army veteran. And today we're going to talk about uh, really, it's a phrase we often say about seeing the forest, but not getting wrapped up in the individual details of the tree. And really, it's quite a bit about time. It's not getting so wrapped up in time that uh, we forget to see the bigger picture. Taking those moments of that time that we do receive, where we can rest and can see things. Jessica and Dennis, thank you for joining the chat. Again, my name is Kirby Ingles. I'm a leadership and transformation coach, a father of four, and a U.S. Army veteran. And as you join in, please let me know where you're watching from. And if you are watching the replay, use hashtag replay. And so, have you ever read Edgar Allan's poem, A Dream Within a Dream? The poem focuses on passing of time as it's perceived through reflection. It's all about lifetime and human perceptions. Maybe you've read Arnold Bennett's How to Live on 24 Hours a Day. This is a classic self-help book. It's one of the first of its kind, and it was a bestseller in Europe and the U.S. And it remains very useful today as it was then. And Arnold really offers a fresh and practical advice on how to make the most out of our time, even in our daily lives today. Maybe, hey man, what's going on, Eric Carroll? Maybe, you've heard of the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, who created a series based off of maximizing your time by creating efficiency and effectiveness. He spent 5 years studying the New Rich, and he learned that there was a new currency which was based off of time and mobility. So you may have heard that. Again, my name's Kirby Ingles. I'm a leadership and transformation coach, a father of four, and a U.S. Army veteran. We're talking about not getting so wrapped up in chasing time, but actually enjoying those moments and having that reflection and seeing the bigger picture. And I can go on about these books, these podcasts, these television shows, and most of them are really just focused on time. It's a very important topic, even today, and it was 100 years ago. But most of them end up having us chasing time, and some on the surface seem like we're trying to cram more things into a jar that's not going to hold anything else, or it's going to break. And when we maximize this time, they want you to kind of add more and more and more to a jar, like I said, that can only contain so much. But when you really, really, truly understand what a lot of these authors and these experts are talking about on time, it's not so much getting more out of time, but it's doing the right things with the time that we have. And so we maximize, and we're efficient in our time to create space for the essentials, the important things in our lives, not necessarily create space to add more. You see, one of our biggest challenges is waiting. Have you found anything more complicated in the world than just to sit there and wait? I mean, we've been so tired of waiting. We want to maximize our time and become so efficient and effective that we've created drive-thrus, curb pickup services, TaskRabbit, DoorDash, online banking, so you don't even have to go to the bank anymore. We have online colleges, so you don't have to go to a classroom anymore. So there's no more waiting. There's no more transition period. There's none of that anymore. And we fill every unforgiving minute with something. Patience is the ability to wait. And that means that you have the ability to behave appropriately while waiting. You see, we need to stop filling our space by being reactionary in our lives. And we just need to really just slow down and be truly aware of what is really happening around us. Just stop. Just slow down. Allow yourself to process what is going on. Respect this time that you have been given. See, you need to rest and contemplate at this moment about what is being presented to you in your life. The one thing that I learned while coaching military caregivers with Rosalind Carter Institute of Caregiving, and I did that through Blue Star Families, is that when we are faced with uncertainty, the unknown or something impossible, we tend to react to it, right? The first thing that comes to mind, we react to that. We do that rather than actually take a step back and see the forest for the trees. What that means is we get lost in the details and it obscures the bigger picture. Again, my name is Kirby Ingalls. I'm a leadership and transformation coach, a father of four, and a U.S. Army veteran. Again, if you're joining the chat, please let me know where you're watching from. And again, if you're watching the replay, use hashtag replay. Imagine you having a child, or what it was like when you had one of your little children that were infants, just tiny little babies, right? Who they may have only been a few months old. And they were aware of every action that happened to them when we picked them up, when we rocked them, when we fed them, when we changed them. They just don't experience time as we do now, right? They don't experience this time on the same level as we do. They are incapable of taking care of themselves, so they are constantly always waiting until they develop the skills or the abilities to care for themselves. They are always in waiting. My kids love to be tossed in the air. They laugh and they giggle. When I come in the door every day and before they go to bed, I hug them and they get excited. And now they're conditioned to expect it at certain times during the day. And it's something that they look forward to. And if I don't do it with my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old, they let me know that, hey, Dad, it's bedtime. You haven't given me my hug yet. Or Dad, you just got home from work. Yeah, I haven't got my hug yet. They let me know because they want to experience that joy over and over again. But sometimes they just don't know how to ask when they're infants and toddlers because they don't have that capability. They don't know when to begin, right? And they haven't developed that sense of routine or that sense of time. They don't understand that yet. But out of the care and delight in my own heart, right? Out of my own heart, out of my own personal convictions, I continue to repeat these selfless acts of kindness. And you can do this as well in all of our daily lives. Hey, Sayed, Bill, thank you for joining the chat. Like I said, we can all do this in our daily lives. And it's the pleasure that you experience from attending to their needs is great. I mean, it's awesome. And only if they really understood in those moments what's going on. It would be awesome if we could just suspend ourselves in those tiny micro moments of joy. So just give them your time. Give them that time. See, today you have the opportunity, right? And even tomorrow and the next day and the next day. As long as you're standing here on this earth, you have an opportunity to go lift someone up or be lifted up yourself. So just be mindful of your time. Hey, Paul and Bill, thanks for joining. Just be, like I said, be mindful of your time. No one knows what those unforgiving minutes are like except for you, because you're the one who experiences that. So I want you to say, be aware of your time, that, especially the time that you have, and use it wisely. The time that's been gifted back to you. The pause, right? The pause in your life. You don't have to fill it with stuff. Time isn't created to fill every unforgiving minute with all the busyness, and the busyness is like a badge. We all have to wear it like it's honor. It's not honor. It's not honorable. Let me tell you, it's not. But it's time to share it with others, to reflect and to rest so we can be our best selves for everyone else. So when the unknown appears, when you have uncertainty in your life or the impossible presents itself, stop, think, reflect, and take a pause. These are moments to kind of take a step back and see the forest, but not get wrapped up in the details of every individual tree. See the trees and see the forest for what it is, but don't get wrapped up in the details. When you're ready, then you can step forward. Be attentive, but be mindful. Stop chasing the clock and focus instead on the time that you have. Again, my name is Kirby Ingalls. I'm a leadership and transformation coach, your father of four, and a U.S. Army veteran, and it's a pleasure being with you today. I'll see you tomorrow.